Loch Lomond Lotto. Play for a chance to win our monthly cash jackpot amongst other prizes. By entering, you're directly supporting Loch Lomond TV, our community-led media platform, and helping to fund local good causes. Each draw gives you the chance to win while giving back to the local community. For more information, visit our website, lochlomondtv.com, or follow us on social media at Loch Lomond TV.
So welcome to this episode of Real People. Today we have got Scott Walker, who goes under the name of Wingnut Walker when he's painting, I guess,
Yep.
and doing other things like poetry.
Poetry, a bit of songwriting as well. So
Okay.
yeah.
So listen, maybe is it? I don't know if it's maybe. I guess your name's Scott Walker. I guess somebody else had that name already.
Yes, the very first one. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll move on from that. But that's okay. So yeah, painting. I've been familiar with your stuff on Facebook mainly, and when I first saw it, I thought, wow, it's very intricate, involved. There's lots going on. Quite your own original style, I think, as well. How did you get into painting in the first place?
Well, I've been into kind of art all my life. I mean, since I was 5 years old, I love painting. I have Tourette's, which wasn't diagnosed until when I was 50, but I had it all through my school life. So I couldn't concentrate very well, and I would mess about. So what the teachers used to do was they put me at the back of the class, give me a book of birds or something, and say draw.
Really?
So from a very young age, I thought, oh, I quite like doing this. So I got to the age of about 14 and basically thought, I'm going to go to art school. That's the thing that I want to do. It's the only thing I was good at school, really. So
what art school did you go to?
I went to Bath. It was Bath Academy of Art back then, but it's been incorporated into the university now.
Okay.
It was a beautiful kind of Georgian crescent when it was.
Magic. So what was that, like a BA or something like that?
It was a fine art BA honours degree in painting in particular. It was a 3-year course. I did a foundation course in Leicester before that. But yeah, that's
and is art sort of your main job now?
Yeah, I mean, for like 28 years I worked in Glasgow in the homeless sector as a kind of like support worker, project worker.
Okay.
But I was selling art throughout that time as well. And I just made a decision after 28 years, a bit burnt out by that job, that I wanted to try and kind of make a go of doing it full time. So that was 2014.
Okay.
And I've been doing that full time mainly. I mean, I do lots of things. I do lots of little jobs. I quite like not doing the same thing all the time. I quite like doing lots of little things.
Yeah. It's interesting.
Yeah, like I like a bit of poetry now, and I do a bit of support work with children. An organisation called Include 'em, which is kind of mentoring young children that are in danger of getting taken into care. Right. So that's quite a nice little job. And various bits and pieces, also some film, kind of TV extra work as well.
Okay. So coming back to the paintings themselves, I said you quite an original style. People can probably see that. Reminded me a little bit of Alistair Gray.
Yeah. I can see why. Yeah.
Just the kind of the things that are going on. People are doing. You kind of think, oh right, she just said to him? Why has he got that face on? And like makes you think a little bit. Yeah. And his was a bit. His stuff was.
Yeah, I was a great admirer of Alistair Gray. I used to. I lived in Maryhill, but I used to socialise in the West End of Glasgow. So Byers Road, Ashton Lane. Alistair Gray was always a figure that was about the pubs there. So you'd always see him and you'd get a wee chat with him occasionally in the pub. I think I showed him a bit of my art a couple of times and didn't get much of a response from him. He was quite
Was he friendly?
He was friendly. No, he was friendly. He was friendly, but he wasn't very demonstrative. He wasn't very kind of outgoing.
Kept himself.
I think with his friends and with his wife, he was very, very talkative, but he's kind of outsiders. I think he might have been a bit wary. So his style, I can see why it's reminiscent. Particularly this particular series of paintings I'm doing is about pubs.
Is that okay? I was going to ask you. So that's one of our series, is it?
Yeah, I think it's 4. I think there are 4 at the moment. It's called the Pub Philosophers. Right. So it's about the people you meet in pubs that are experts on everything.
Of course.
Like we all meet them.
After 2 pints, I can tell you. Ask me any question.
Yes, experts in religion, sport, science, everything. Philosophy.
I've got a friend who after a couple of pints will basically say to you, open the Bible, ask me anything. Right, and you're like, okay, you've had enough. But yeah, that's interesting. So have you based it in any particular pub?
Yes, it's based on, it doesn't look like tenants, but it's based on tenants, and a few of the other paintings are loosely based on characters that I've met over the years.
Because this is your tenant's pub in Byres Road.
But yeah.
And characters you met over the years as well, yeah?
Yeah, it's all based on, they're not actual characters, but it's all kind of based on people.
I seem to get the impression that you're in the picture sometimes.
Yeah, I do usually turn up somewhere.
To walk on part.
Just a wee one part. I think you can see.
I was going to say, I thought it was you.
A stripy top is usually an indication.
Okay. I'm not going to say where's Wally, but so you usually do like a wee bit yourself as well.
Absolutely, yeah.
That's interesting. And you do commission work as well.
Lots of commissions, yeah. I've done commissions for as long as I can remember, actually, since I've been in Glasgow.
So people, places, dogs.
Everything. I mean, everything from somebody's dog to a landscape. I've done some quite wacky things as well, some quite abstract things for people. So one thing I won't do, if somebody asks me to do a portrait, I'll not say, for instance, they'll give me a photograph and say, copy that. I'll say, well, no, tell me a bit about the person, what they like, places they like to go, and surround that person with their kind of life.
I know you did actually, Wingnut's done a cover for one of the books I'm hopefully going to bring out. And you wanted to kind of read the book a little bit and get a feel for it. Yeah. So you could put some of the objects and things in there.
Yeah,
it's really done quite well, actually. So hopefully that'll be out with your cover on it quite soon. You do poetry as well?
Yeah, that started I've been doing that for years, just as a kind of a hobby thing. But since I've been in Balloch, I've joined this kind of poetry open mic at Balloch House Hotel, which is every month. So I've been doing that for the last year or so.
I think Anne McKinnon's involved in that.
Anne McKinnon, and George Gibson, who's another local guy, poet.
That's a good thing. Yeah.
It's a brilliant thing. I mean, they get really good poets to come along, kind of do a guest spot. So I've been writing lots of poems. Last year I wrote a poem every day. I was
going to say, I thought you were
for a whole year. 365 poems, yeah.
Which is quite a task. When do you do your writing? Is it first thing or last thing? Or?
It just depends. When I usually take time out of whatever work I'm doing to do a bit of writing. So if I'm doing a lot of painting, say for a commission, I'll be doing it all day from 9 in the morning till 11 at night. Okay. So I'll take regular breaks, and when I'm taking the breaks, I'll either play the guitar, try and write a bit of music.
I've seen you a few jam sessions.
Yes.
I think you're on the Cardress jam session.
Cardress, yeah.
I think there's one again at the end of the month. But, so I've seen you play guitar. I've seen your paintings. I've seen your poetry on Facebook, and you quite often read it out. But is there any chance I'd like to hear a poem just now?
Yeah, well, I've got. Luckily,
I know you get plenty.
Luckily, I've got my phone here, which has 300.
Well, I'll give you a subject. No,
you could actually. Well, I could go an amusing one. Go for it. An amusing one.
Snappy, amusing one.
It's relatively short, so it's about pot noodles.
Okay.
About them pot noodles you have when you have a hangover. And I used to like to have it with beefy hula hoops and a roll. So that's about that.
Okay, everybody's different.
Okay, here we go. It's called Pot Noodle. The musketeers of speedy tack. In corner shops, this humble little snack. Emerald, umber, or golden grail. Cups to soak last evening's veil. Come to me and bring your hoops. Krusty McGee and beefy hoops. My fingers wait with eager twitch. Hovering over the kettle switch, a minute to pass in curly dream, to walking with a face burn steam. Time to engage that trusty seal. Oh no, it's torn asunder, a double peel. Rescue now from its dusty silo muse, the secret square of exotic ooze. Release the magic with scissors pair after an exasperating fail to tear. Elixir poured, the levels rise, a Frankensteinian reanimation before my eyes. My trembling hands gingerly replaced the trusty broken shield over bullet peals that refused to yield. And in darkness, the arid spirals wake, curl and writhe, duck and dive, an aeon seems to take, before pressing in with puny trident lance, chase and stab in a savoury dance. Dare I nice his furrowed brow, go wading in that cabod's flurry king? No, not yet, deploy the waiting hula kiddie on crouton king. And brief the sturdy, well-fired fellow with unctuous, dairy, smooth and mellow. Approach with caution, do not spurt or rush. One must stir, then engage his biohazard mush. Then reminded in my first lip fright and throat sleeping gluten skite of despair and cheating air, it tastes like beep.
Guess the last one. So 2 very important questions about pot noodles, okay? Favourite flavour?
Favourite flavour has to be beef and tomato.
Okay. And the most
school.
important special meat, fork or spoon?
Oh, definitely a fork. Definitely a fork.
You can't get the runny bit. I suppose you drink the runny bit.
I love to put more water than is required, so I guess it's quite soupy.
So it's more soupy?
Yeah, so I can just drink it at the end.
I might try that. Okay. That's when I'm going wrong. So you went to a poetry thing in Edinburgh recently, you were telling me, and it was more of a challenge, and it was a poetry cabaret, you said?
Yeah, a poetry cabaret. It was run by an organisation called Hamish, and they do regular kind of poetry and music evenings. Well, kind of general arts kind of centre it is really. So they do it in different venues, but it was one of the Assembly Rooms venues, Assembly Roxy, and it was 10 poets, and each poet a poet would start, and then the second poet would have to follow on with a poem that connected in some way to the poem before him.
So if I did a poet on dogs...
Yeah, I'd have to connect that somehow. But it could be tenure, so it could be about bones, cats, or whatever, it could be... but people seem to connect it really well.
Yeah.
I think what happens is people went with lots of poems ready with different subjects.
You'd have
literally
hundreds.
I was
So
fine.
no problem. Yes, Mount Everest, no problem. So any subject you could probably just about cover.
Yes.
Just finally, I want to say thank you very much for coming in, Wingnut.
Thank you.
Wingnut Walker. That's what people know you by on
Yeah.
Facebook.
Yeah.
And is that the best place to contact you?
Facebook and Instagram, Wingnut Walker or Wingnut Walker Art.
Just type that into Facebook, they'll get you.
Yeah.
And they can message you if they want a commission.
Yeah, they can message me fine, yeah.
And your poems and your art's on there.
Yes, and a few songs as well.
Yeah, a few songs as well. And I'm a big fan, and keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you very much.
Thanks very much for coming in.
Thank you.
So I'd like to say thank you to Wingnut for coming in today, and that's the end of this episode. Until next time, bye.